It's time to stop. What do you do when on a date you notice you and the other person don't really click? How do you end it? If a date isn't going well, I usually just say this was fun and go home after the first part of the date. If it's going well, move on to a second location and carry on. No need to make shit excuses, just end the date at a convenient point and go and do something else. I'm too smart to ever go to a secondary location. I like staying alive, thank you very much, triumphant face. I have no problem calling it quits on someone, politely of course, if I've decided that it isn't going to work. However, before I call it quits, I'll usually try this one thing where for a few minutes I act like it's like the third or fourth date, and just kind of say a bit more of whatever's on my mind without regard for how it's received. The idea there is that maybe the reason we aren't clicking is because I'm in first date mode and I'm not loosened up enough. I'm just honest. Been going on a fair number of dates over the last year looking for the girl for me, and being blunt but not rude has worked fairly well. Some mild upset on the other end, but no one likes being rejected, and I've been on both sides myself, but less terrible than leading someone on. Smoke bomb. Just say so. It has been nice to meet you, but I'm not really feeling any chemistry between us. I hope you find what you are looking for. Easy. For first dates you always only go for coffee or a drink first. That should take no more than about 60 to 90 minutes. Even though girls are always slightly taken aback by such a short date, it carries a ton of good reasons why you want to do it this way. Not talking too much and talking yourself out of ass is one. Getting to bail if it's bad is another. But if something bothers you right off the bat, you have full right to be assertive and simply explain that you don't think this is for you, excuse yourself, get up and leave. You are only an asshole doing this if you think you are an asshole. Then it will come off as such. But there's no need for it to be any more awkward than a simple "have a great rest of the night" and leaving. Be straightforward. Don't beat around the bush, rip the band-aid off. Being honest is the best thing you can do. Best of luck. Just say you have to return some videotapes. Last date I went on before I met my wife was horrible. Total profile pic change, not who they said they were, obvious catfish. I got up, told her that I wasn't interested in a lying, manipulative individual, and walked out of the restaurant. Blocked her number, profile and every other app she messaged me on. First time it happened, it sometimes felt like we were clicking, but something felt off. I stayed for the rest of the date, as she was fun to talk to and I got the impression that she was having a good time, but I didn't really feel butterflies or anything when we parted ways. It happened again fairly recently on a Tinder date, but it immediately felt very awkward and like the conversation was forced. We stayed at the pub for one drink. I was ready to call it after about an hour, but couldn't think of an excuse. I asked if she wanted to stick around for another, but in the tone of voice that heavily implied that I knew it wasn't working out, and I think that she picked up on that, as she said thanks but no thanks, and we both decided to go our separate ways. Maybe I'm old, but I've not felt butterflies since I was a college student. I still click and have fun on dates. If I based it on butterflies, I'd never have a second date. That's why all first dates should be at happy hour. If it doesn't go well, you need to go home for dinner. If it does go well, you move on to dinner. Just tell them, "I've done it a few times. Hey, you're really great and I've had a fun time, but to be honest, I'm not feeling that magic. I hope you find someone who makes you happy, and if you ever want to just grab a beer and chit-chat, I'm always down for it. No need to put that other person down or be nasty." With two notable exceptions, that's always been fine. One lady called me gay since I didn't try to bang her on the first date. Second one said I wasn't good enough for her. What kind of loser drives an Infiniti? I just smiled and left. My favorite date is to get coffee then go for a walk that takes about 45 to 60 minutes. You don't get the interview vibe then like you do with sitting facing each other at a coffee shop. Everything is just much more relaxed. Once the walk is done, you part ways. Just no reason for a first date to last longer. I schedule dates on weeknights. Prior to even starting the date, I tell them that I have to get up early the next day, which is not untrue. If the date goes well, I can choose to stay out late and have fun. If the date goes poorly, I end it early because I have a tough day tomorrow and need to wake up extra early. End the date by saying "it was nice to meet you." Date language for "I won't be seeing you again." There's even a Friends episode about it. Ideally, I'm at a location or doing something which is fun in its own right. That way I can still enjoy the outing no matter what happens. So far the other person and I can tell that things are off and we part ways politely, but neither of us reach out again afterward. The only times I've been pissed have been when people catfish me. I'll sit through a meal but not make much effort to talk in that case. Have had maybe 2 dates where the other person probably wanted to meet up again but I didn't contact them. I don't make empty promises to meet up or do something again later, so I don't think I'm being a dirtbag. If they message me I'll talk, but I don't make plans. Have not run into any problems. Next. Went on a date to a Nandos style restaurant once, some girl I met out on a night out. Cheap and cheerful, must have been no more than 19, so needed something that wouldn't break the bank. Get there, the girl's not about. Send a text, get one back saying sorry running late. Be there soon or some shit. Thinking with my dick I hang about, she's hot. Whatever. She eventually turns up half an hour late, which I mean. Shit happens, 30 minutes ain't a biggie. What started to fuck me off was the fact that she was 100% glued to her phone, swapping between Insta and a convo with whoever. This goes on for about 45 minutes, so absorbed in her phone that she straight up ignored a load of my questions. I'm there like WTF. I'm not an unattractive dude, I was in damn good shape, back then / and I didn't struggle with women. This was driving me insane. Strangely enough, as soon as I asked what she wanted to eat, she heard that one. Replied with one great big fuck off order, and ordered a whole chicken on top of it and asked me to ask the waiter to put it in a take-home box. Now I'll admit, 19-year-old me thought not with the brain in his head, but instead the brain in his helmet. Luckily for me Sergeant Richard Cochin was a smart man. So, in answer to Op's question, to end the date, I simply got up, ordered all of the food she asked for plus a load more, self-service like Nandos, though unlike Nandos, they bring you the bill at the end, then just walked out. Window seat and all, waved at the motherfucker as I walked past, not that she saw it, glued to her phone as she was. Anticipate that first dates are hit and or miss, and make sure it's something casual and easy, coffee or a quick and easy lunch, daytime drinks, or maybe a walk. That way, it's pretty easy to go either one of two routes. First is to see it through until you reach a natural stopping point, done with coffee, done with food, etc., and then just tell them that you've had a good time, then text them a few hours later to tell them that while you enjoyed the company, you feel like you're both a bit too different / after different things / don't quite have the chemistry you're after / etc. The second is to do the same thing, but in person, at the end of the date. Honestly, I just finish my coffee, lunch, drink, whatever, and then afterwards just say, well, it was nice to meet you but I have to get going, and then leave. Afterwards I will text and say it was nice talking to them but I don't see a connection and wish them luck. Never had any trouble. Everyone has been pleasant. The same way you fire someone. Compliment sandwich, you swiped right so that's pretty cool. Boo at the way you bit your toenails at the bar was off-putting. Great shoes BTW. Boo at I think we are both looking to go in different directions and a centipede only works if all the legs are going the same way. Have a good night and good luck out there.